Curtis Blaydes knocked out Jailton Almeida in round number two and made a big statement and set himself up for a big interim heavyweight title fight against Tom Aspinall at UFC 299. And it was a really amazing performance by Curtis Blaydes. It was actually what I was expecting, but I was expecting Curtis to TKO him on the feet rather than stuffing a takedown like that. Jailton Almeida is really good. I think he deserves to be in the top five of the UFC heavyweight division, having submitted Rosenstruck the way that he did, having defeated Derek Lewis. I think he would likely be able to sub Volkov, so I think he deserves to be in the top five. But in the very top of the heavyweight division, he's going to struggle if he does not get more well rounded. He needs to get better on his striking because his striking is just not there. And that's why he was panicking for takedowns and just shooting takedowns over and over again. And at this point, everyone's already going to know what he's going to do. And he just needs to get a little bit better on the feet. I think he could potentially defeat Sergey Pavlovich, since Sergey Pavlovich first lost against in the UFC was against Alistair Overeem by being taken down. But I think against the very top heavyweights like Curtis Blaydes, Tom Aspinall, John Jones, and even Stipe Miocic, Jailton Almeida's not going to be able to win unless he gets better striking. This was a great win by Curtis Blaydes. Peter Yan was able to get back to winning ways and end his four-fight losing streak against Song Yadong. However, he really didn't look that great, and in my personal opinion, I don't see him beating Merab or beating Sean O'Malley, and I just don't see what's left for him if he's not going to be the champion. Sure, I can definitely see him fighting Henry Cejudo and beating Henry Cejudo, but I just don't see Peter Yan becoming champion again. He just didn't look that great. Song's wrestling looked better in the first round. He had more power than Peter Yan. Peter Yan was just able to get back into the fight in the second and third round and squeeze a decision, but I just don't see him beating these top guys. And if he's not going to be the champion, then I don't know if he should really stick around. And that's just my personal opinion, but good for him. JDM knocked out Gilbert Burns in the third round, and it was a pretty vicious knockout. And this was a fight that Gilbert was winning the first two rounds of. But again, I just don't think that Gilbert Burns is up there in the top echelon of the welterweight division. When he first fought for the title, his most notable title wins were against older guys like Damian Maia, Tyron Woodley, who had already lost to Kamaru Usman and really didn't throw any volume at all and would just let guys dominate him. And then Kamaru was able to knock him out. And since then, his best win was actually a loss against Hamza Chimaev, in which he did really good in that fight, don't get me wrong. But other than that, most of his wins have come against older guys like Wonderboy Thompson holding him down and being able to sub Neil Magny, who again, I'm just not been too impressed with Gilbert Burns. He got 50-45 by Bilal Muhammad before being knocked out right now. And he made a bunch of excuses as to why he lost that fight and whatnot. And even the fan base was backing him up in his excuses. And I just think that he needs to realize already that he's not going to be a champion. And it's tough. If you're not going to be the champion, then what are you there for? And, to be knocked out the way he just got knocked out in front of his family and whatnot, it's not good. It's never good. And I think Dustin Poirier knocked out Benoit Denis in the second round, and he looked pretty darn good in this fight. I actually picked Benoit Denis to win this fight since he's the new hungry prospect, and he had won 5 of his last fights by finish. And DP proved me wrong. He had an excellent performance, and I think he's up there for a title shot, frankly. Obviously, Justin Gaethje is there, and also Charles Oliveira. So we see who gets the next title shot, but DP's right there, and he's really at the top of this division. Sean O'Malley dominated Marlon Chito Vera over 5 rounds, 50-45. And I felt bad for Chito Vera. He had to take a brutal beating in this fight, and it sucks for him. I don't think he's ever going to get another title shot, and it really sucks because it does feel like he wasted this title opportunity. He wasn't going enough for it. His volume just wasn't there, and it was just like how I predicted this fight: Chon to win by decision. Um, he didn't make adjustments in this fight. I think he should have gone for takedowns since things weren't working for him on the feet, and he just didn't. Zero adjustments. He didn't even go for the calf kicks that he went for in the first, and this is going to be a tough loss for him. I don't think he's ever getting back to the title. In my opinion, he's on a 3-fight losing streak. The 50-45 to Corey Sandhagen, now this 50-45. And I actually thought he lost the Pedro Munoz fight watching it live. I haven't rewatched it, but that was extremely close. I just don't think he's ever getting to the title fight anymore, let alone be champion. Like, the guys that are left for him to fight at the top of the division, he's not going to beat. He got 45-50 against Corey Sandhagen, the same against Sean O'Malley right now. And there's no way in this planet that he's going to beat Marab ever. So, like Dana White says, if you're not going to be the champion, you should probably hang it up.